Good morning, guys. It's Miss Salerno. We're back. It's Tuesday, April 21st, our 139th day of school. We're just moving along here. I'm going to go over your daily work. Hopefully, this is helping you. This is the instruction part that's going to help you with your spelling words, high frequency words, and your assignments. So I really hope that you're watching this every day. This is basically what we would do in class if we were together. This is basically what we would do for our rug time and our little mini lesson before you go off and do your independent grading. Okay, so I'm hoping this will help you. So we are going to continue with our spelling words, which have the sound. Okay, we're still doing R controlled vowel words or bossy R words. E-R-I-R-U-R this week. Okay, so I'm going to write some on the board here, and today is Tuesday, so not only am I doing your spelling words, but I will add a couple of other words in there like I typically do. And that's how on Fridays, sorry guys, I'm a little hoarse today, we get our extra credit words. Okay, all right, here we go. So I'm going to start off with ER, says I added H, it says her. Okay, here's my ER again, it says I added N there, that says earn, and an F makes it burn. Then there's my this time instead of an N, I'm putting an M, that says Now I'm adding a G, and this time the G makes a different sound. We usually know G to say G, but in some instances it does say J, like the J. So this is the word germ. Okay, germ. Now I'm going to move here. There's my IR again, which still says If I put an S, it becomes sir. Okay, there is my and again, I'm using this S, but this time I'm putting a second letter. So I have a 2-letter blend. ST says st, this becomes stir. Okay, now here's my IR. Add a D to the end, that says erd. B, it becomes bird. Now I'm going to do a rhyming word, which means that the end sounds the same. So if this says erd, this also says erd. When I have a rhyming word, the beginning sound is different, the ending sound is the same, like bird. And now here's my digraph. TH says th, so this becomes third. Now remember, digraph is 2 letters that we put together, but it makes one sound. So the T and the H combine to make a new sound, which is th. Blends are 2 letters or 3 letters. When you put them together, you do hear a piece of each sound. Okay, so digraphs are a little different. It makes a new sound. Okay, there's my again. This time I'm going to move this digraph, TH, to the end. So that says earth, but this is not earth like where we live. Then I put the B here and it becomes birth. Okay, here's my again. I put a T at the end, becomes ert. Now I'm going to use my digraph SH to make shirt. Okay, and then this one is a little different. The sound is slightly different. Girl sounds a little bit different. Okay, there's girl. Then I have, you see here, yeah. Here's my UR, which says I put an F in front of it, it becomes fur. Here's my UR, says put a T, that says ert, that becomes hurt. Okay, and then put an N, that's earn, turn. Okay, so these are mostly our spelling words. And then I did add some new words because I do like to add some new words so that you know how to make these words. And this is typically what we would do every day for our dictation. Every day during dictation, I use that same sound, but I do add different words because I want you to be able to stretch out the beginning and the end. Okay, we always know what our sound is. That's typically in the middle. So I want you to be able to stretch out the beginning and the end. That's how you stretch out your words for your independent reading. Okay, now we're going to move on to our high frequency words for the week. Okay, ready? Boy, B-O-Y, boy. Door, D-O-O-R, door. Father, F-A-T-H-E-R, father. Maybe, M-A-Y-B-E, maybe. Nearest, N-E-A-R-E-S-T, nearest. And I don't know if you've noticed, sometimes I do put lines under the word parts. So like here, near, and then est. So I put a line, and that's how I chunk the word. If I don't know how to read a bigger word, I chunk it into parts. So here I chunked near, I chunked est, and then it becomes nearest. Says, S-A-Y-S, says. And this is typically found in a lot of stories where there's dialogue because people are talking and it will say like Little Red Riding Hood says. So this is an important word because it's in a lot of stories that have dialogue. Shouted, S-H-O-U-T-E-D, shouted. And here I underlined out first because typically when you see big words and you're trying to chunk them into parts, your eye normally will go and gravitate towards something that you know. And in this word, most of us know O-U-T is out. So that makes it pretty easy. So if you recognize a word inside of a word that you know, it makes it easier to read it. So if I look, O-U-T says out, then I know S-H says sh, because that's one of our sounds we do every day. So automatically that says shout. Okay, so that's kind of what you look for when you are chunking into parts. Look for something familiar, look for something you know. Read that and then build off of that. And our last one, until, U-N-T-I-L, until. And I did the same thing, until. Then I can put it together to say until, okay? All right, I also want to remind you that this is Virtual School Spirit Week for the entire district. Yesterday was Mindfulness Monday. Today is Tactical Tuesday, okay? So what that means is you are to close your eyes and think of a really great idea. So close your eyes, think of a really great idea, and then share it with someone, okay? That's what Tactical Tuesday is. Just think of a really great idea, close your eyes, get your thoughts together, and then tell someone, okay? So that is our Virtual School Spirit Week for today. It's Tactical Tuesday, okay? Now I'm going to switch and go over your work for ELA. Okay, so as usual, we start with our independent reading. And by now, I think we have this. We used to do independent reading all the time in our centers, but obviously we can't do that anymore. So do your independent reading. Choose a story from Raz Kids or choose one of your own stories. Just make sure you jot it down. All you have to do is tell me the name of the book, the day, how many minutes, okay? Independent reading should probably take you 15 minutes, okay? If you want to read a little longer, that is perfectly fine, but it should take you about 15 minutes, okay? So then what you're doing, you're moving on to your spelling words. You're going to put your spelling words in ABC order, okay? And I'm going to show you a little example because we haven't been in school in a while, and I just want to make sure that we are able to do our ABC order. So I'm going to just write a couple of words down here. Okay, so here we go. For ABC order, we're going to pretend. Now, you're doing this with all of your spelling words, but I'm going to do this with these 4 words. I have sir, stir, bird, turn. So when I do ABC order, I think about the alphabet. Now, sometimes when you're doing ABC order, I have seen students do this where they actually write the alphabet across the top of their paper. Oh, sorry. I'm going to have to continue here. And this helps some students. So if you need to write the alphabet quickly across the top of your paper, then do that, okay? And when we put things in alphabetical order, we start with the first letter of the alphabet, A, and then we look at the first letter of every single word. I don't see any word that starts with A, so I move on to the next one. So this is not something that should take a long time because you're not spending a lot of time. A, nothing, I keep moving. Then I go to B, and I look. And I typically do this too. I like to underline the first letter of every word so I know what I'm really looking at. So here I have bird. So if I'm putting these words in alphabetical order, my first word is going to be bird. Okay? Then I'm going to move on to C. No C. Now, I could go through each and every letter, but I'm not going to do that. I only have 3 words left. So I know they start with an S and a T, so I'm going to move all the way down. And my very next letter where I have a word is S. So now, because both of these words start with an S, I need to move to the second letter. So I have S-I and I have S-T. Now, what comes first, I or T? That would be I. So my second letter, if I were putting these words in my second word rather, if I were putting these in alphabetical order, would be sir. Okay, then I know I'm still on the letter S, so my third word would be stir, and then just process of elimination because it's the only word left. My number 4 would be turn. Okay, now this is a little easier with 4 words than it is with all of your spelling words. You have 10 spelling words, but if you do this at the top, it will really help you. And just remember, all you're doing is going through. So I will go to D, no letters, E, no letters, F, no letters, because we're only focusing on that first letter unless we have 2 words that start with the same letter. Then we move on to the next letter, okay? So that is your second assignment, to do ABC order. Then you are rereading which part do we eat. Okay, that was a story in our ebook that you started yesterday. You are now rereading it again today, and you are going to, yesterday you did the turn and talk questions. Today you are going to do the prompt and plan questions. And I'm going to try my best to show you. I'm going to move my computer, so just bear with me for a sec. So I want to see if you can see this. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. So here is which part do you eat. That's our story. Once you get to it, it is linked into your assignment. And again, if you can't get to it, you need to go to the student portal, the same place where you go to iReady in Core 5, and you need to click on Ed. It is a yellow icon. It says Ed. You then go into Module 9 for reading, and you click on My Book. And then you just keep scrolling until you get here. Which part do we eat? So here's the entire story. I see a lot of things growing. I see vegetables. Okay, this is what you did yesterday. You did turn and talk questions. Then you immediately go, as you see, here's my turn and talk questions. Now all I'm going to do is go to the arrow. Why is this so small? Let me try to make this a little bigger. Hold on, guys. It's a little small for you to see. There we go. So this is what you did yesterday. Then I go right to this right arrow so I can go to the next page. And here it says prompt, and plan. So your prompt question is choose 2 vegetables. From which part do we eat? So you're going to go back to the story and choose 2 vegetables that they discussed in the story. How are the vegetables alike? How are they different? Use information from the words and pictures. So kind of think of this as like a Venn diagram, okay? Now, we've done that several times where we used to talk about things, how they are alike, how they are different. We used to have the 2 circles, and we would put one vegetables on top of each circle, and how they are different would go in each circle, and then how they are the same would go in the middle. Now you don't have to draw the circles, you're just going to write how they are the same or different. So you're going to pick 2 vegetables from the story, okay? So it has to be a vegetable that was in the story. You're going to tell me how they're the same and how they're different. For instance, you think about the color, think about how they grow, think about what they look like, the shape, okay? So those are all things that you can do to tell me how they are the same and how they are different, okay? Then you have your plan question, okay? And that's here, plan. It says first, write and draw how the 2 vegetables are alike and different. Well, that's kind of the same, okay? Okay, so that is what you are doing for today. And you see how they have this T-chart? If you want to make a T-chart, if that will be helpful to you, that's fine. Or you can just write it in words. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. You are just telling me how they are alike and how they are different. But see, with this chart, this says alike, this says different. You would actually have to write the name of the vegetables there because there's no place for that. So that is completely up to you, how you want to do it, what format you want it to be, okay? If you want to write sentences or you want to write in a T-chart like that, that's completely fine, okay? And your last thing that you have to do is your journal writing, okay? It's your journal writing for today is I get excited when. So that is your opening. Your opening is I get excited when. You are filling in that sentence, whatever it may be. I get excited when my pets run up to me. Okay, that would be my first sentence. That's going to be my opening. Then after that, I'm going to list all of my reasons why I get excited. Now you may be able to use some transition words or you may not in this, okay? They might not fit into this story because it's not really a sequential story, okay? So that's completely fine. If you're just writing a paragraph and you can't always fit transition words in because it doesn't have a sequence to it. So your opening is I get excited when. Complete the sentence. Tell me your reasons why you get excited. Then your closing is these are the reasons why I get excited. These are the ways I get excited. This is what happens when I get excited, okay? However you want to close it, okay? Now, I do want to tell you guys, you should not be spending all day long on this ELA, okay? Your ELA should be in the morning, maybe 2 hours tops. Okay, your math shouldn't take you more than an hour, and when you do have science, that should be probably like a half an hour. Okay, so you have to pace yourself and make sure that you're not spending all day long just sitting in front of the computer doing your work. Okay, I know that we're in school for 6.5 hours, but remember, we have breakfast, we have lunch, you have an activity. There's a lot of times when you guys are sitting on the carpet when I'm teaching you. So there's not times when you are constantly just sitting down working all day. So I don't want you to think you have to sit for 6 hours every day and work, because that is not what we want you to do during this, okay? We want you to get up, get on the computer every single day and go to Google Classroom. Yes. We also want you to go to Core 5 and iReady every day, because that is going to reflect on your report cards, okay? Ms. DeSantis wants you to give you grades every single week for iReady and Core 5, and you only get a 100 if you hit your 60 minutes every single week. If you don't, you don't get a 100, okay? So you either hit your minutes or you don't. So that is very, very, very important that you are getting on Core 5 and iReady. So when you wake up, you're doing your independent reading, 15, 20 minutes. Then you're doing your ABC order. That should take another 15 minutes. That's a half an hour right there, okay? Then when you're reading your story and answering your question, that shouldn't take more than half an hour, okay? It shouldn't. And then you do your journal, that should take another half an hour. You should try to chunk everything and space it where your ELA is not taking you more than 2 hours. Then you can take a break for lunch. You do your math. Definitely shouldn't take you more than an hour. And Tuesdays and Thursdays you have science, okay? So that'll take you a little longer. So please try to set your day up where that's how you're working, okay? You should not be working for 6 hours every day, okay? And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm trying to understand WebEx. We're going to start our groups this week with that, so I can't help you too much on that yet because I haven't really used it yet except for the meetings that we've had with administration. So as I get more familiar with that, I will help you with that, okay? And hope you have a great day, and I will see you later. And remember, it is Tactful Tuesday. So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to think of a great idea and tell someone, okay? Until later.